everybody. Super excited for today's video for a couple of reasons. First, I'd like to introduce you to my special guest, my Mom Dora,
Hi.
aka Big D. As I've mentioned in previous videos, I am a proud Canadian with even prouder Ghanaian roots. I'm a little embarrassed to say, however, that while I love my traditional food, I don't know how to make most of these dishes. But that's about to change. And in honor of Ghana's 62nd Independence Day, I've decided to start with none other than our most iconic, most popular dish, jollof rice. I know a lot of West Africans get very fired up in terms of who has the best jollof rice recipe and what country it originated from. Nigerians, Ghanaians, Gambians, Senegalese, Cameroons, and more. Everybody claims responsibility and they all say their recipe is the best. I am not going to get into the controversy today, but we are going to be making Ghanaian jollof. That's all I'll say about that. Mom, where did you learn how to make jollof rice?
I learned how to make jollof rice from my mom. You go to the kitchen and watch your family members cook the traditional food and you pick up the recipes as they do it. We don't measure things, but it comes out perfect.
Even though she's always used a little pinch of this and a little pinch of that, I've got her to actually write down the recipe, which is going to be in the description box below. So would you like to do the honors?
I'm glad you asked. Let's get started.
Let's get started!
Today we're making chicken jollof rice. Jollof rice, you can use meat, you can use vegetables. So we're going to add the water.
4 cups.
And then we add the chicken.
Which today we're using chicken thigh. You can use any type of chicken you want, about 13 ounces.
And then you add your salt.
Which is going to be about a teaspoon of salt.
And your garlic.
Which is half a teaspoon.
And your onion.
Half an onion. This recipe, we're going to be using a full onion, but for the broth, we're going to use half an onion.
Make a broth out of the chicken to cook the rice. The broth is the base of the whole thing.
So it's been about 15 minutes now. We now have our broth ready. We're going to put it aside for now and use it later. So next we're moving on to the next stage, which is a sauce part of the jollof rice, which is what makes the jollof red.
And flavorful.
A separate pot on medium heat.
We use oil, cooking oil.
About 1.5 tablespoons.
Add your reserved onions, then add garlic.
1 teaspoon of garlic.
Then add your tomatoes.
We're using 24 ounces of strained tomatoes.
You can also use diced canned tomatoes. Then add your tomato paste.
We're using an entire can, which is 5.5 ounces.
Which thickens the sauce, is what really makes jollof rice to make it look good. Then we start adding our spices. We're using curry powder.
2 teaspoons of curry powder.
We're using some hot chili pepper.
1/4 teaspoon of hot chili pepper.
Masala.
1 teaspoon of masala.
Then you add your chicken and the broth. So now we add our bay leaves. Today I'm adding only 3 bay leaves because of depending on how much we're cooking. Now I'm going to cover my sauce, leave it to a little bit low heat and let it simmer.
It's been about 12 minutes and our sauce is bubbling away and we're ready to move on to the next stage.
Yeah, so the next stage is that we are going to be adding the rice to the sauce.
About 2.5 cups of rice that's been pre-washed.
Not use brown rice because it's hard to absorb the sauce, and you cannot use parboiled rice because it's already kind of pre-cooked.
It looks really saucy.
Yes, the sauce is what makes jollof rice. If you don't have a good sauce, you do not have a good jollof rice. So now the rice is in here. We're going to leave it and lower the heat for about 10 to 15 minutes. Cover it. When the rice goes in the sauce and you cover it up, you go to check it to see, and you don't use a spoon, use a fork. The reason being, a spoon makes it mushy-mushy. A fork is more like turning it over as you do it. We're going to transfer the rice from the cooking pot into a casserole. When I grew up, we cook on open fire. So when we make the jollof rice on the open fire, there's a lot of burning at the bottom of the rice. So when we came to Canada with try and error, we realized that when you put it in a casserole and you put it in the oven, it eliminates all the burning and you get all your rice. After we finish scooping it into the casserole and I'm looking at it, I realize that it's going to need a little bit more water.
So how much is that? About a quarter cup?
It's about a quarter cup, yes. And your oven is already preheated to 375 degrees. Cover your casserole dish up with a tin foil. And you put it in the oven for about half an hour to 45 minutes.
Thanks for watching. This has been my mom's recipe for jollof rice. This is going to be the first of many Ghanaian dishes that I'll be making on this channel. If there's anything you'd like to see me make next, let me know in the comments below. If you have any questions as well, also let me know in the comments below. Thanks for joining me today.
Thank you, Barbara, for asking me to be part of this. Jollof rice is one of the Ghana dishes that, since I've been to Canada, whenever I invite my Canadian friends, it's one of the main dishes that I always love to add to whatever I'm making because they enjoy it.
If you want to see more of my favorite recipes, be sure to subscribe and ring the bell so you'll be notified the next time a new video comes up. Thanks for watching and see you next time.
Bye.